This is a tasty burger. Burger. Straight down on that. This is a tasty burger. Burger. 25. Straight down on that. Street.
Hey, what's up, Patriots? Good morning. The 3rd of February, 2019. The whole point of going live is obviously Q&A, right? Like if we're talking about a certain topic, to get your feedback directly, and that's the whole point of live. But at the same time, guys, I'm trying something out new. Sunday morning. I know this isn't my main channel, so good morning, Susie. Let's start off with Bangkok, right? Bangkok's haze is getting so toxic, people are coughing and sneezing blood. I don't watch television. The only reason why I don't watch television, period. But or movies. I like documentaries. This sounds like it could be a horror film. Again, this isn't fear porn. I don't get paid by YouTube. Bangkok's haze is so toxic, people are coughing and sneezing out blood. Bangkok has been blanketed in haze for weeks, and it does not look like it's getting any better. The Guardian reported that nearly 450 schools in the capital were ordered to close early this week. Let's see. It's just going to get worse as far as everything. We had record cold here, and it's not just my words, guys. You know, if you like a certain topic, look into it. This whole part of geoengineering, which I wish I knew 100% what it was for. I mean, I could speculate. My opinion, you know, they're doing it for multiple reasons. One, yeah, probably population control. And then first thing I always get, what about the elites? What about the elites? Well, there's a movie called Asylum with Matt Damon and Jodie Foster, which I have not watched. It came out in 2013, and that's the year I lost my mother, so that year's pretty much a blank to me. Blank meaning anything in politics. My concern was my mother, obviously. So, again, till this day, I have not seen it. I just watched a few trailers. I found it very interesting because they are living off of Earth in, I guess, low Earth orbit. No war, no hunger, no suffering. That's like the opening scene. So, what am I getting at? There are antidotes I mean, as a civilian, do your own research. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. Um, I do have nurses who are subscribed, and I would love to get in contact with a few of you guys. Morning, brother. Um, Again, you know, same with diet, guys. One person's on a diet, all they do is eat red meat. Another person's on a diet, Atkins diet. You know, whatever. My early 20s, I became a certified personal trainer. Took sports nutrition in college. Always fascinated with diet and yeah, everybody's body is different. Yeah, I get that. Um, but it's pretty simple. You know, if you're not working out, you can't eat like your linebacker. Goodbye, your metabolism and a few other things. But as far as detoxing, again, I'm not giving any medical advice over the internet. Um, you could go, you could look it up yourself. There's multiple supplements, but there's just one of the to remove the heavy metals that we're getting sprayed with. As I'm looking out the window right now, um, it's called chelation. Um, you get it through an IV, and I do not know that much about this because I just heard about this recently. Listening to a podcast from a scientist, um, David Sinclair. But anyway, it's chelation. Um, what's up, Tyler? I ain't worked with Atkins as a med tech for a while. Philly Dickinson. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. And back to the whole detoxing and tell the it takes 10 years for the FDA to pass a new drug. I don't even like taking aspirin. I don't want to be relied on anything. Like I drink coffee, but I don't need coffee. Um, how about stem cells? That's another thing that I find super super interesting. Um, I'm going to name drop a few. Dana White from the UFC. He had a ear issue, and I mean, elites get this all the time. They fly can't not in country. You gotta fly out of country. Colombia, they're huge, and there's even a new thing with tourists. Just say you need a hip replacement, rather than getting it here because of money, and the way the system is built, you could go overseas, you get treated. It's like a one-stop shop. Therapy, surgery, recovery. You're laying on the beach rather than in the cold. And it's like a quarter of the price. So that's just with needing a hip, a knee. I mean, I've had 13 surgeries myself already, and I will need more in the future. But again, stem cells, I find I tell you guys, look into it because Kobe Bryant, he had stem cells. Dana White, you could get something called like a spot treatment, and that's in case if you have an injury, um, or you could be a healthy person, and apparently it's like a friggin' miracle drug. Again, not giving medical advice, so but there's a couple UFC fighters that I follow. That's the only sport that I watch, MMA, and again, you have to leave the country to get this done, and it's very expensive, super expensive. But just knowing that this is out there, I find it very interesting. Gives me hope that it will get cheaper. But in 2004, under the George Bush, um, he stopped all stem cells. The part that drives me crazy is with, like, if they're testing out a new aircraft, or if they're testing out a medication. I know some people who are allergic to peanut butter. If they take peanut butter, they're dead. Are they going to ban peanut butter? But during these testing times, if they're testing something and one person shows any reaction, they quote unquote get rid of it. We're all different. People are allergic to penicillin. And this is just the stuff that's out there that anyone can research. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Emery Smith. I find his information fascinating, very controversial. Worked for the government in secret labs. And then I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan anymore. I used to be, but he's a sellout. He's a sellout. But anyway, that doesn't mean that some of the people on the show are very interesting. Like the doctor from Harvard, David Sinclair. Let's see. What's up, kid? Good morning, Susie. What can we do to stop newborn babies from being put down for skin tissue, body parts? People are cloning their dog, dude. Like, this stuff's out there. Like, you're telling me America has never cloned a human being? We always say, like, other countries, oh, the sheep, right? The sheep. Or is the lamb or something. Listen to Emery Smith.
But these programs, I'll call them the time programs.
Sure.
Were you involved with them specifically? And if so, what did you do?
Well, there was a program I was involved with where they were using a special type of test where we would take a watch in with us in this small hexagon room and spend, supposedly 55 minutes in there. And I remember the first time after working with this project for many years to even become one of the people to go into it, that you have two watches and you put one in your locker room, you lock it up, you take the other one with you into this device. And the first time after waiting 2 years to get into it, I was so thankful that I was finally able to get the proper security clearance and to get into this device. And going into this device as they ramp it up, I remember hearing, after just 15 minutes, this knock at the door saying, okay, Smith, it's, you need to come out now, we're done. Because I heard the system ramp up.
Probably you were in there 9 years and didn't know it, right?
Exactly, I was in there for a whole hour. And I had no idea. So when I came out, I was so upset. I was so distraught saying, man, what happened? Did the system have a malfunction? And then all the scientists are looking at each other, and they're all like over 100 years of age, and they're laughing, and they said, oh, didn't you check your watch in your locker? And I said, no. So, I missed a good 30, 45 minutes.
And didn't even know it.
And I did not know it because the 15 minutes I was in there, really, I felt, it was an amazing experience. You can see the universe, you could see space, you could, it actually detoxes you and teletransports toxins out of your body. Sometimes people lose up to 15 pounds in these trips that they go in there.
Hear that? A device. Again, going back to TV and movies, predictive programming. It brings me back to that movie in 2013, Asylum. The opening scene is Earth is so contaminated with pollutants, they're in low Earth orbit, and the first thing you do before you get off the ship is you lay down, and you're in a machine, and it clears you from cancer, leukemia, crazy shit. Kid says he is. He even admitted to it. He started off on Fear Factor. He was a truther. You listen to any of his old podcasts. He was just like us, open-minded to everything. And then overnight, after he said, if there is X topic, and if I was told, he said, I wouldn't even tell my mother. And that's when he zipped it up. We do have that kind of tech. That's I find it fascinating. it's sad. Again, from a person who lost my mom at the age of 48, who was perfect. She was a personal trainer. You know, she never had a broken bone. She ate organic. Breast cancer, developed brain cancer. But 2019, excuse me, there's more and more stuff that will be released. More and more people are speaking out. Even one of his, he has a patent. Even one of his own patents, the government was all over. And he had trouble with his own patent. A plain truth. Oh, 100%, Tyler. 100%. 100%, dude. That's why human trafficking. You know, do I want to be, you know, not too many drug dealers are going to be El Chapo. But do I want to be a drug dealer, or do I want to have some sex slaves? Drugs kind of run out pretty quick. Women, you know, years with one woman. And that's why it's horrible. It's disgusting. And people think it's foreign. Go to your local city, go to wherever, you know, go to your local town. They're everywhere in America. Me too, kid. I can't wait till Tuesday. I'm Tuesday. He's building a 2-mile wall. My father died of brain cancer. I'm sorry, bro. I can definitely relate. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. It sucks, man. It's all about a lot of stuff too, like early detection. I'm not a fan of Western medicine, but you know, if you feel a lump or something, go get checked out. Or if it runs in your family, like even my sister. But the whole thing is the way insurance companies are set up. You know, oh, you know, you don't need to, as a guy, you don't need to do that until you're 50. Oh, breast cancer, not until you're 40. Like in reality, if it's in your family, my grandmother had breast cancer, who's 100% Native American. She beat it. She had stage 0. My mom was 1 of 5. 4 girls, 1 boy. All 4 girls had breast cancer. All 4. My mom being the worst. Guys could get breast cancer. I don't know if even, you know, taking supplements, legal, just a little test or something. You start to get gyno. Next you know, yeah, dude, Tyler. I did a couple videos on that with York. I'm being hit so hard. I go from 2000. I made a video about China too. I go from 2000, 1500, 2000 views video, 200 to 400. YouTube admitted to it. Algorithms. And then I went to my main page and I checked my analytics, and it shows you like how people find you, and they just push truthers down at the bottom. They won't get rid of you necessarily, but they just suppress you and they put you down. Torch Tuesday, State of the Union. Kid, I just got a letter saying both of my meds are not covered. Unbelievable. The good thing Trump did with, as far as like medication, he allowed certain medications to, you know, certain medications. I'm still drinking coffee. what's the word I'm looking for? Generic. Whew. Yeah, so certain medications now you could get the generic form, so that helped so many people. Tyler, speaking about this kid, I'm looking at kid. Speaking about the babies, and now we're talking a little bit about politics. How do you feel about the Democrat from what's it, Virginia? Blackface for Halloween in his yearbook. He's a Democrat, but every Democrats want him to call step down. Sheila, my sister, refused. My mother had the gene test. My mother did. The test came back inconclusive. Amazing health insurance, and health insurance, they don't pay for it. My mother had it done due to, her family. So the test came back inconclusive. YouTube and Facebook, yes. If they don't whack you, the whole channel, they do what they're doing to me right now. You get pushed at the bottom. Again, like, why is Silicon Valley in charge? You know how many people have money out there? I mean, for heaven's sake, Mike Adams, I believe he started like his own platform, like a YouTube. But the name YouTube, it's been around for so long, it's going to take years for people, to eventually jump over. But I'm all about freedom of speech. Even if you could disagree with me 100%, you could, as long as you're not threatening anybody, etc. It's not just like going to be a conservative thing or a woke channel, red pilled. Everybody's welcome. You just don't suppress any, insane to me. It's to the point where it's like, gets the head of HHS, young guy who wanted to make prescriptions affordable, got curved. Amazing, Sheila. God, make sure every single type of drug. Correct. Look at animals. Look at dogs. You have a dog. They self-medicate. They have upset stomach. How do dogs know to eat grass, right? The only time they eat grass is if they have an upset stomach, and it makes them vomit. New test: birds. Birds are putting nicotine in their nest because it's stimulating. It's nature. I'm all about nature. If it doesn't make the government money, forget about it. David, money runs everything, 100%. And at the same time, we all need money to survive, but money is not everything. Obviously. Katie, tobacco is actually a healing herb. It's so weird you said that. A woman who smokes, I don't know, I was on YouTube and she popped up. She had some very good talking points in it. What's up, Frog? It's all about same thing like with the marijuana now, like that's grown in like states that it's legal. I don't know, guys. Not to sound like a flower child, because I'm not at all. But same thing with like go to all of our food, guys. Eggs. We're not made to drink milk, right? Only when you're an infant. It's all about how the animals are treated. Again, like 5 years ago, I didn't. It sounds crazy, the words even coming out of my mouth. The chickens, they don't see daylight. They're overpopulated. They put too many chickens in a cage. They fill them up with steroids. Um, and these are just eggs. I know people who don't eat meat, but they eat eggs. And they're like, oh, yeah, because, they don't kill the chickens. Well, look into it. Went from a killer to a hippie. No, I'm not a hippie, just more aware, I guess. More, more open-minded. Some people have, like I always say, doctors. Some, not everybody. You could be in college, aka my sister, flip-flop, or, some people just have a calling in life. Speaking of tobacco, my mom, when she first had her earache, as a child, grandfather. There's a drug called, or not a drug, it's called kratom. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. There's natural lettuce that grows everywhere, and they use it for a painkiller. By the time you squish it up, it looks like black tar heroin. But this shit, it grows on the side of the highway. I'm proud. I'm proud. I love my country. I love my country, and I'll die for any single one of you guys watching right now. I'll die for a stranger any day. Yes, kratom. Tomato, tomato. Tomato, tomato. Kratom. Some people call it kratom, I believe. Kratom. Kratom with a K. Yeah, I'm far from a hippie. My sister's more of a hippie, or she's like that, the hippie style. So I don't know. I know the whole point of going live is doing Q&A and getting your feedback. But when I started off with Bangkok's haze is so toxic, people are coughing and sneezing blood. There it shows pictures of blood coming out of orifices, people's eyes from pollution. They're shutting down schools. Censor your own health. This is Local 12. Vaccines in Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana causing infections. No shit, really. The vaccine you receive for the flu, whooping cough, and hepatitis A might not work. And on top of that, you might have an actual infection. No shit. Why do you think we've been saying this for years? Man, Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. Government is making kratom illegal. Correct, Katie. You know why? Kratom comes from the coffee family. Painkillers, opiates. You can't put a patent on the plants, right? And that's the whole reason why they attacked kratom users years ago. Just the police didn't. And then now they have the FDA involved. And once the FDA gets involved, that's like the SWAT team. But kratom, there's different, there's different colors, there's different strengths. Like, you just don't need to be in pain. You could be a weightlifter. You could take it to, if you can't sleep, it's just like marijuana, just be cautious. Don't buy in any convenience store. Yes, Jess. Correct. Be careful with anything you buy, let alone, again, I'm not giving any advice, but there has been some kratom with heavy metals. Betty, Super Bowl prediction, NEFF. Woo. Well, I found it interesting. Trump, he stayed in D.C. for a long time during the whole entire shutdown. He left once to go see the troops. So now he's in Florida right now, right? I saw a picture of him playing golf, which he should be, with Tiger Woods, and another golfer. I don't. Excuse me. I don't see Betty. No FF. Not right now. Everybody's on alert, Betty. Everybody's aware. You're going to get these things. You're going to have Black Hawks. It's going to look like a war zone, meaning in the sky. Black Hawks, little birds, there's, no fly zone. And afterwards, meaning not that day, but later on, like the next event, it will come. But not tomorrow. Is it today or tomorrow? I don't watch football anymore. Sounds crazy. What? Darlene says, watch a Super Bowl video on Many Fish channel. There's a few channels out there, guys. Again, I don't name drop channels. There's one guy, he's a military guy. He brought up, I'm from Jersey. I'm from Jersey. He did a video about the nuclear reactor shutting down. It was like the biggest fear porn video I've ever seen. I don't understand, like, why do fear porn? I want to make herbal remedies. I was planning on making one painkiller. Mentioned from wild lettuce. It's somewhere funny to show on that recipe. Yeah, wild lettuce is everywhere. Once you're aware of it, you could be sitting in traffic. You look over, it's growing. Wild lettuce grows everywhere. Just like with everything, there's different ways to cook it, eat it. It's crazy. I'm all about natural. Darlene, what about the, quote, alien ships in the clouds? They're there. They're there. Don't ask me where they come from, but they're there. I have video proof. My own video, not NASA. My own video. And my own 2 eyes. Katie, I stopped watching football too. What did you notice? Blakely. You bring up a good point, Katie. Not only can you bet, but there are multiple bets about Trump. Meaning, well, how many times will Trump tweet before the first kickoff? Like, people go crazy with this shit. I'm a simple man. I don't like. I like little bets. I've always worked hard for my money. I didn't notice it. My Mima. I like that. My Mima. 11 kids. Woo, God bless her. Hell of a woman. Hell of a woman. Look at the women. Not all women. Look at women in America today. Not you guys. If you're watching us, you're awake. Feminists, green hair, mohawks. What happened? What happened? Who started this shit? I hold a door for a woman. I'm being disrespectful. It's like the whole 180. Not only 11 kids, but she God bless her. Nigel's shows the machines doing Paradise Fire. I did not see a machine during the Paradise Fire. I did happen to capture on radar a anomaly. The area that's where it sparked off. It's 100% due. 100%. What else? How about off medicine for a second? How about a little bit of politics? The yellow vest protesters. Thousands were injured. A couple people lost eyes, including a doctor. At the same time, again, guys, I'm open-minded, so I act like if I'm a cop in that scene, and I act like if I'm a protester in that scene. The people who got beat, again, when you have a crowd that large, right? You have your everyday people who work Monday through Friday, and then they protest on weekends. Then you have scumbags that are in that crowd that can put a bad taste in somebody's mouth and ruin it for everybody wearing that vest. I mean, if you protest, do it right. Do it right. You know, I mean, I say do everything right. I don't do anything half-ass. If I do something, I'm doing it 100%. So if I'm going to protest, I will be heard. And also, guys, with a crowd that size, you have these little groups of police officers who could be killed in a second. But that's not the protesters' intent. They can be killed in a second. They're still going at it right now. We have Venezuela, exactly what we discussed probably 3 days ago, right? Will it be a bloodbath or will it be simple? I said there are sanctions going on right now, and it's not only going to affect the tippy top. I used Cortez, the tippy top, but a high ranking, just like we discussed. If you guys remember, a couple days ago, we said this. A high ranking general just broke off from Maduro. And that's one. Sometimes most of the time, that's all it takes is one person in anything, in a large crowd, to throw a rock. Once one person throws a rock, rallies the troops. So a high-ranking general in Venezuela just stepped down. That's the latest in Venezuela. So will more follow? Most likely, yes. Will Maduro get the hell out of there? Or will he go down with a fight? Or will he be assassinated? He's surrounded by his, there's different, when you do security, there's different bubbles. He could be whacked from within. Katie, have you thought of getting into politics? Depends. I find it, fascinating. In high school, I was like the only kid who knew what the hell was going on in the world, not just my country. To be honest, kid says 36-22. I don't even know who was in the Super Bowl, and that's the God's honest truth. I know the Patriots, but I don't even know who the second team is. That should tell you something. I really disconnected. Because while everybody looks over here, I'm looking at the back door. Even though I hope nothing goes wrong, and I don't think it will. Again, it's going to be like a war, meaning security-wise. But and coming up, guys, and it could happen anytime. Trump can harp them or do. Super Bowl ad from Arizona shows AI taking out the power grid. Oh, Lord. AI. The average person has no idea the technology about AI. People have Alexa in their house. No idea. Records 24/7. So what? I'm not doing anything wrong. They're using a Alexa, guys, for the first time ever as a witness in a murder. What does that mean? That means that it's listening, just like I said, 24/7. We're so fat, we can't stand up to turn the lights on. And again, they're probably neat. Like if you're a kid, if I had a kid, you could ask it anything. Yeah, it's not my house. Podesta was on CNN the other day. He's not in game mode. Correct. I did not bring him up. I saw a short clip of Podesta. I don't think anybody's in Gitmo right this second. And this is just my opinion. It's going to take a little bit longer. Some people are saying, a couple weeks. A little bit longer than that. Man, Sheila says, I've already watched most of the ads. They are sick. It's probably going to be hating on white people. It's probably going to be LGBTQRPS, green hair freaks. Again, I don't care what you are. If you're gay, I mean, I have a family, not my immediate family. I have a big family. There's a gay person in my family. Do you, or do, I don't care. Just don't push that shit on me. Don't push anything on me. I'm not in school anymore. I'm an adult. My son plays around with his Alexa. Answer. I have a video, but I just haven't uploaded it yet. There's different types of Alexas too. Some of them are expensive. Yeah, no Gitmo. Lots of Illuminati. Speaking of Illuminati, what the hell's up with Hollywood and their kids? Not calling, if you have a son, not calling him a boy. Like, this is really, it's really taken off. It started off with like Celine Dion. She has her own clothing company out, with like the all-seeing eye, like for like a infant. Guys, things. It's like a diesel engine, you know. When it's cold out, you got to plug that pup in. Things are warming up, and things are just going to keep going quick. We got many different topics, including the Second Amendment in certain states. Clintons were out just out. Really? That, see, I did not know that. Do you know where, Darlene? Oh, you know Cory Booker? He's running for president, right? In his ad, he mentions, never forget where you came from. And I always say that, no matter how successful you come from, coming from a person who lived in a ghetto, worked in a ghetto, that means you should give back, right? You know, just because you might have money at a later time in life, you know, don't forget about where you came from. Be humble. Stay humble, my friend. According to Cory Booker, he still lives there, right? Well, this is one story. I live in Jersey, right? Look for that video very shortly. And I wasn't going to announce that, but I just did. So, he lives in a ghetto. He made public, right? I'm going to do a nice interview on the street for you folks with good old Cory Booker, 2020. Katie, they have gender studies class. The public schools are a disgrace. Once you start teaching my child, I don't have any kids, about religion, about sex, they're giving out condoms without parents' consent, but in order to cross the street, a parent needs to sign a waiver. Boniqua. South Jersey Hunter. So it's crazy that they're all connected to pedophilia. It blows my mind. It is. It is. And think about different entities. Like, why is she untouchable? Think about it. Is she some type? I'm not trying to start any weird stuff, but in reality, like, why is she untouchable? Why did she bypass the FBI? She made the FBI look bad. Like, how is she so powerful? And she's, you know, homeschool only frog. Again, I don't have any kids, but Darlene, most of the leads are Illuminati. Correct? Yeah. Darlene, like, once you're an elite, just look at Hollywood and the music industry. How many people had mental breakdowns online? Britney Spears shaved her head. Again, it's all genres. You know, it's not just rap, country. You know, once you reach a certain level, you got to do this, or you're out. Would be cool if you dropped in. Love and watched it. I'm going to show you where Cory Booker really lives. I don't live near him, but and I'm going to hit the streets. talk to a few folks. Look for that video shortly. Good old Cory Booker. Lindsay Lohan, where's she been? She's still around? Frog says, that all crap. What woke you guys up? I asked this. How long have you guys been awake? Boots on the ground. Do it. I am, Tyler. I am. Watch. You want to see what a getter looks like? I'll watch. I'm going to do multiple interviews. He says he still lives in the ghetto. Maybe I'll make, put me on Fox for a second. I'll show you where he lives. I'm from Jersey. He doesn't live in a ghetto. Katie, good old Lindsay tried taking home. Oh my God. Are you serious? She tried taking home a homeless family? Wow. (2010) 2013. Again, that's the year I lost my mother. So I wasn't, paying attention to politics or pretty much anything. And then obviously before she passed, she was sick for a year. So I don't know, something happened in like 2013. Some people say CERN. Right now I'm speculating. This isn't fact, but a lot of people woke up around that time. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if more people, started watching YouTube, fake news, just start looking into topics on your own, like you should. She tried to take a child to a hotel without the family. Freaks. Tyler, I will watch. I can offer security legal. I can offer security legal. Roger that, Tyler. You know how when I'm in the woods, I feel like that's my sanctuary? I don't know. When I'm in the ghetto, it's totally different, obviously, than the suburbs. But most people watching here, ghetto, it's a different entity. If you grew up in the ghetto, it really is. It's a different entity. Hunger Games, Ice Hands. Feels like kind of, yeah. Isn't it crazy how many movies that become reality? The Truman Show, 1998. Everything was a camera. 1998. Drones. Drones. Then when he finally wanted to leave, when he's at the travel agent's office, the poster on the wall, terrorism. I don't know, that movie. When you watch it when you're awake versus watching it from 1998, They Live is like the Matrix from 1998, or excuse me, the Matrix from the 80s. It's crazy. Where's it? Wizard of Oz. Yes, ma'am. Miss Q. Frog. No, called propaganda. We're programming. They're programming to 100%. 100%. And you notice what even like late night comedians do. They take like a fact and then they spin it to make it sound like it's a joke, and you hear the audience laughing, but it's a fact. They do this shit all the time. Tyler, I would love. I did one time ever during the Kavanaugh hearing. I went to Philadelphia, and I interviewed people in Philadelphia about the Kavanaugh hearing. Amazing how people are so quick, to judge without knowing, facts. For example, he had a. Thank God he had a. Like a counter book. Who has a counter book from the 30 years ago? I guess now we don't need a calendar book. Everything's recorded. Everything. Trevor Noah, he's a piece of shit. Made fun of Mueller. Oh, did he? He made fun. Really? Yeah. Probably for ratings, because the ratings are crashing. I don't know. It's always like the whitest people, or like the whitest minorities who play the race card. I find that fascinating. Muhammad mentality. Kick them when they're down. This is what Top Cop said. Kick them when they're down. About 6 years ago, 3 women named Sarah Connor were murdered for real. Newborn babies legally killed. Yeah. No more talking when you're killing kids. No more talking. That debate is over. That topic is so disturbing. It gets me going. It really does. Here in Jersey, again, I said this prior, you could have a baby. A woman could have a baby. Call up 911, knock on a firehouse. No questions asked. But yet, they want to kill it. Planned Parenthood. That's straight. Hunter, there's a huge reason why the White House wants to take over Mueller case. I'm surprised Mueller lasted this long. He was in surgery during 9/11, right? All bets are off when you kill innocents. A human. They're savages. They're savages. I get offended when I hear people say, "Oh no, they're animals." No. Animals, they care and take care of their young. Look at nature. If you have pets, they're not animals. They're savages. The system is rigged in its favor. Of course. Everything. Yeah. With everything. Go to a doctor and you actually most of the time become worse. I'm not blaming the doctor. I'm blaming the system. People who are asleep, they're like, "Oh, you think everybody's lying to you? Everyone knows a lie?" No, not every. That's the whole point. They don't know it's a lie. You got to swallow that bitter red pill. And it's not all doom and gloom. Like when you're awake, I mean, at least I don't live that way. Triggered and I can't wait to sit around taking this crap. Roger that, dude. Back to the Virginia governor. They're all Democrats. So most likely he will step down. And guess what? There's going to be history. There's going to be the first black governor of Virginia, I believe. He will step down. He just got busted in multiple lies. First he said it wasn't. First he said it was not him. Then he mentioned it. Zero recollection. Then he said, "I did it because he went to a certain event." He's just jam. The more he speaks, he's jamming himself. He will step down. Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, 2020. You ask any of these supporters too, like you ask any of the supporters, like they have no talking points. Oh yeah, we need to change, or America's too racist. It's all the same bullshit. They don't even know what they're voting for. Darlene, now, yeah, unfortunately now, Darlene says, blame the doctors. Most sold out. I agree with you there. Because they make money. So if you go to a doctor, pharmaceutical rep comes in, bringing coffee and donuts, sweet talking the doctor. More medication, right? That's all we need. You guys know how many people take medications? Like people in their 20s, early 30s. Too much stress. Hey, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is there's other ways of getting around the stress. Muslims are raping and butchering women here in America. 100%. I saw a video a couple days ago about that. I was going to make a video at that time, but I had to cool down a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. I was a nurse, in the operating room. Late term abortion was done. I passed out on the floor. The number one case, Sheila, of murder is from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. That black doctor, he had dead babies in his freezer, in his like right next to his like lunch. This guy was a 96. I forget it. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I mean, they're going to make a movie about him, and he's from Philadelphia. They don't teach stress management enough early. They do the opposite. Stress could be a good thing. Seriously, stress can, again, life is not rainbows and butterflies, children. If I was a college professor, they do the opposite. You're stressed out. Oh, what? You have an exam? Go to your safe room. Safe room. Go cool down a little bit. Miss Q, watching a heroin documentary in the U.S. right now. It was mentioned the amount of prescriptions written will be allowed in America bottle pills. Correct. I don't know if you guys have Netflix, but like I said, I like documentaries. There's some pretty good ones on there about the food, how that changed, about prescriptions. America's 5% of the world, but yet we get 80% of the prescriptions. Think about that. 5% of the world in America, 80% of prescriptions. Something wrong with that. Grounded fiction. I saw Muslims jumping the southern border. The Afghans are coming in. Yes, they are. And more troops are en route. Yeah, imagine like coming out of, I don't know. I did not go to a 4-year college. I was in college when I got hired. Go to a 4-year college. Now you're ready to go out to the workplace, and your boss might offend you. Like, there's no safe. What are you going to do? Your whole life, you were, patted on the back. I'm not even talking about yelling at somebody. Your whole life, we're all equal. Nobody. Big reality check when these kids get out. Kids get out of college. Early, never take mind-altering drugs, and you hit the nail on the head with that one. I'll leave that for a different video because I'm about to end it here. It's all connected though, with like the cell phone towers, with medications, with certain technologies. It's easier to penetrate somebody when you're on these medications. That's why when you hear of a event happening, you may hear about it for a split second that they were on SS, different types of drugs. But then they no more, because it's big pharma. They just want your weapons. Big pharma. African cannibals, here Muslim grouping gangs in San Diego. All I have to say about the Muslims and grouping, it's on YouTube. Look it up. The Mall of America, Dearborn, Michigan. Numerous videos, and yeah, just like you said, grooming gangs. 15, 20, 30 males. 15, 20, 30 males coming after you. Women are women. And most of these drugs, if you are on one, you're on that one forever. Most of the time. But most of the time when you're on that one, now you can't sleep. Now you have depression. So now you're getting each category, right? It's like a buffet, a bad buff. Gloves are off. Yes, Russ. Roger that. I'm going to go to expose Cory Booker. I'm going to show you guys the ghetto. And according to Cory, he says he still lives in the ghetto. So, I want to show you guys. I hope everyone's safe, and I hope everybody trains. I don't care. Train for every scenario. Be ready for everything. Enemy troops from 150 countries already here. We send a message to hold. 100%. 100. We've been infiltrated. There's sleeper cells everywhere. Kind of like in during the Cold War. Again, China, guys. And it's not speculation. I did multiple videos about this. You won't see this anywhere. But at the southern border, there are like little checkpoints, and they're in 3 languages. 3 languages: English, Spanish, and Chinese. That should tell you something. Kid says, yes, sadly, I will die with one of my big pharma drugs in me. At the same time, big pharma is doing more damage than good, but at the same time, there are people out there that big pharma, they are keeping them alive for, at least this, not forever, no, but some people do need big pharma. But you could probably cut that number down 80%. Seriously. There are people out there with serious illnesses that need medications. And I'm not anti-medication. I am, myself. I don't take any. But some people, they do need this stuff. Unbelievable. I would love to know how many illegal again, most of the Mexicans that come here, yeah, MS-13, they're savages, but they're hard-ass workers. They're in probably every, luxury restaurant, every hotel. They're everywhere. And Trump was willing to work out a plan. But Pelosi, she refused to debate. So we'll do it the hard way. Sea rust. Lead, lead, lead. They're working on bills, guys, for sea rust. They want to start keeping track of the lead. Think about that. They can extend life in many cases. And when I first started at the top of the hour, David Sinclair, he's a scientist from Harvard. He said some very, very interesting stuff on that podcast. I mean, stuff I never even heard before. And then I think he kind of bit his tongue because he kind of backed out. He did it, a smooth transition, but he said stuff that you're coming to my country and you have more rights than me. I don't want to give you guys know how I feel. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution, period. There's no debate. There's no debate. None. I want to see. I wonder how many security guys that should be interesting too. When I see Corey, hopefully I want to definitely catch a Corey. Yeah, look for that video, guys. Probably soon. We'll end it with the yellow vest because I just popped up on my screen. What do you guys think? I mean, they've been protesting for Months now. I broke in live. It was like 09. It was like 09. And I'm like, holy shit, look at all the, it's been going on for months. What's the outcome going to be? Predictions. I can't wait to speak to Corey. Or any of his people. Or his neighbors. Yeah, see Russ. Imagine if we took caravans to Canada, 15,000 deep to any other country. Yeah, you'll be shot. You'll be captured. You'll be hung. But America, we're the only bad guys. We're the only country in the world who defends anybody on the map without a border. It's cute. That's to keep. He does that to keep the trolls out, rather than have like open chat where, you know, when you have thousands of people watching, a lot of trolls. So he has that membership thing. That's why he does it. I give Owen much respect. He left Hollywood. He did, you know, much respect to him. No military protected from that. But the crazy part is, like, again, it's one thing if they just don't agree with us, if they're like so freaking crazy, but on video years ago, coming out of their own mouth, it's and I get people change, you know, people do change, but on a topic like that, on border security, coming out of their own mouth, their own video, giving a speech from Hillary, all of them, just because we have Trump now, it's immoral, it's racist, it's absurd. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid? Why aren't more people intelligent like me?
All right, guys, Patriots, I am out. Do you think that the ones who claim walls are moral? They're all breaking, every single one of them. They're breaking laws. One, there's not a war going on in Honduras. Multiple reasons. Two, they could seek asylum in Mexico. They refuse. Three, they're violent. Not all of them. About a month ago, they had a little clash, remember, at the border. Guys, that was an appetizer. It's going to get worse. And this is reality. There's thousands of, their words, not mine, from Mexico Daily News. They mention that bigger and stronger. MAGA, get your gear. All right, Patriots, I'm out. Have a good day. Be safe out there. And I'll see you guys shortly. God bless all you guys.